You know, when you first started, we was doing the webinar. Everybody was on the webinar together, right? It makes a difference. Because when you have a guest on that webinar and there is nobody on that webinar to support it, I don't care if you don't have it, get still on the webinar. It makes it more effective. It helps your leadership that's doing the webinar. If somebody is up there that's doing the webinar and they only see 3 people, ladies and gentlemen, there is 1,700 people in our network. This particular team's network. There's no reason why 1 or 2 or 3 people should be on a webinar when you guys are in business together, right? So if you don't need the webinar for a guest for you, the webinar needs you. Are you following what I'm saying? How many of you would really want to go on vacation all by yourself? I got the gist of that today, right? You don't want to be on nobody's vacation by yourself, period. You don't want to be in a room by yourself. You don't want to be at a travel party. You don't want to feel that kind of energy or disappointment. So guess what? If you are going to win, you have to support each other. That includes myself. So if we know we have a webinar at 9 o'clock every night, even though you may not have a guest, it's important that we get there. That's how we become a family. You know, when we used to hang out, hey, Natasha, hey, Yvette, how you doing, Deborah? How you doing, Preston? What's going on, Eileen? So now when we do meet up in person, man, it ain't no daggone stranger. I don't want to feel like a stranger to people, and I want us to build this together. So as I say together we stand, divided we fall. So I'm going to bring up one of our regional executives. This gentleman hails out of the wonderful place called the DC area. And we just happen to have the opportunity to really get out and do a familiarization trip last week. And what we're going to be talking about is using the product, using your product. Ladies and gentlemen, we cannot stress. We had 4 different couples that did this, and we went to 3 different locations, okay? So in the process of going, we all experienced something different from the angle of a travel agent using the product, because it just takes first of all, it takes your belief system in your product to a whole nother level. Are you following what I'm saying? It also helps your posture. So when people are telling you it don't work, it's already working for you. Now, if you're not using the product in some capacity, you're going to sound fake. You're going to sound like you're lying, because guess what? You haven't used the product. So we're going to actually show you. And it's not about how much money you have in your pocket to use the product. The first fam trip that's taken, and I'm going to have Mr. Bailey, if you can hear me, sir. Mr. Bailey, I see you in the queue. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear me? I'm here. Can you hear me, Sash?
All right, hold on. We're trying to get Mr. Bailey on the mic. Oh, y'all hear him? I don't. Okay.
I'm here.
That's me then, huh? All right. Well, go ahead and talk, Mr. Bailey, and I'm going to get this together. I don't know what's going on over here. Okay.
Well, first and foremost, I definitely want to say thank you for allowing me to share on the call. National Diamond, Kim Satcher, definitely. Guys, but the experience was really priceless. That's one of the things that one of my mentors, he often says, nobody will ever outbelieve me. And when you have a belief system that really convicts you to a point that nobody can deter you from what you have, it really takes your business to another level. Because at the end of the day, in fact, that you're really trying to help somebody else, trying to bless somebody else. And I think for me, that's really what's been the one thing that's kind of solidified my belief as it relates to this particular project or program that we're a part of, having an opportunity to go on that vacation. I mean, I've been on other vacations with this team that have definitely allowed me to really see the value versus the cost, if you will, of what we decided to do in terms of that initial investment, but also the $69 monthly subscription. I wouldn't mind paying, I'll be honest, double that for what this program offers to the average individual to be able to travel and enhance their lifestyle of travel driven by this program. I can tell you we had first-class service. This was actually my first fam trip. My wife had taken one early in us being a part of this program, but this was my very first one. I'm going to tell you, guys, it was absolutely unbelievable. I mean, from the time we showed up to the time we left, they were very in tune to what we needed. They catered to us as if we were, in fact, travel agents, and we are. And I think that's the one missing ingredient in terms of your belief system that you don't understand about this product that we have. I mean, from the time we got there, we were upgraded to a bungalow suite. Out of 345 rooms on this particular property, 12 of them were the bungalow suites, and we had 2 of these particular suites. It was overlooking right on the water, the canal, outside your room. You had a deck that spanned across your entire room. It also came with a private canoe, guys, that allowed you to now tour the property on the canal. I mean, it was absolutely incredible. We had a outdoor shower, first time ever for me and my wife that we ever experienced the outside shower where the shower head was a lion's head, guys. I mean, it was absolutely incredible. They gave us a free 50-minute massage for everybody in our group. The spa was so mind-blowing that, in fact, we went back the very next day and spent half the day just there chilling and relaxing and really partaking in all the spa had to offer, guys, and it was absolutely exhilarating. I'm going to tell you, we had an exciting time. We had an opportunity to have a seafood dinner on the beach, guys. I mean, it was absolutely extraordinary. From the Brazilian restaurant, the buffet cooked to order every single morning. I mean, by the time we left, the director of the facility made it his business to actually meet with us just about every single day, guys. So, I mean, an extraordinary time. And I can't tell you, again, it's the moments, it's the memories like that really help you not only just understand cost versus value, value versus cost, but it also it helps you and gives you insight on why what we have is important for everybody to have. One of the things that we talked about while we were there, Mr. Satchel, at breakfast one morning is the limited, or I should say the amount of minorities that we saw at that particular facility. In fact, out of the 4 couples, the 2 couples that were there, myself, my wife, Miss Lynn, and Mr. Satchel, the whole entire trip, I believe we only saw maybe 2 or 3 other African American couples. Now that's not to say, anything about, but I had to point that out. My point is, it was kind of ironic to me and astonishing, really, that out of the couples that were there, we only saw total, including us, maybe 5 or 6 African American couples. Guys, that means there's a limited amount of access that we have as a group of people to this type of vacationing. So again, it just solidified how important it is for me to go out and share this program with other folks. Because again, people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. So again, it was my duty right? It's my duty, it's my responsibility to let the world know that you can have access to this type of vacationing, man. And I can go on and on. I mean, I think the one priceless thing that I took away from that, the most priceless thing that I took away from this fam trip, this vacation, was having an opportunity to really see my wife happy. I mean, that's priceless. I mean, the whole time she acted like a big kid. I mean, I mean, it did something for the relationship, after 22 years that I believe has definitely allowed us to definitely boost what we've already had to enhance our relationship, man. So, again, it's those moments that allow us to really understand fully what we possess. So, again, make sure you're utilizing the product. A lot of people have a lot of product out there that they can't get rid of. And guess what? We have a lot of product as well. The thing is, we have an opportunity to use it without it ever expiring, right? We have an opportunity to use it, use our auto ship and feel good about using it. But not only that, we have an opportunity to feel good about also sharing our product with other folks and allowing them to be able to experience what we experience. So with that being said, sir, I definitely appreciate you allowing me to share on the call today, and I'll turn it back over to you. Thank you so much.
All right, well, first of all, let's give it up for our own regional executive, Mr. Bruce Bailey. And again, ladies and gentlemen, those are, as he just said, priceless, okay? How important it is to actually use our product, all right? All right, I'm going to try to chime in now. Another dynamic couple, they went to a totally different resort, and oh my God, did they, and I really want them to share based on being of a travel agent, from the point of being a travel agent, like Bruce did share on how they upgraded and things of that nature. But ladies and gentlemen, when we talk about you now being in a position that all you had to say is, I am a travel agent, you're going to see the difference that took place. Miss Dominique, can you hear me? Miss Dominique and Marlon, can you hear me? Can y'all hear her?
On the line, sir. Can you hear me?
Yes. Go ahead.
Can you hear me? Okay. I'm not online, so somebody let me know if you can hear me. Can somebody inbox me, text me? Okay, great. Thanks, Karen. Hi, guys. This is International Executive Dominique Stuckey. From a travel agent perspective, let me give it back to Mr. Bruce Bailey. His testimonial was so awesome. I could actually feel myself in his resort during his testimonial. So I wanted to first thank him for showing this opportunity to my husband and I about a year ago to give us the opportunity to experience the fam trip alongside him and his lovely wife. So from a travel agent's perspective, like Mr. Motivator Kim Satchel asked me to do, my husband and I, we checked in. We too received our gold bands. We were at the Sandoz Caracal Resort in Playa del Carmen. And what we didn't know about this resort is that it's an eco-friendly resort. And what I mean by that, guys, is that you have spider monkeys, you have parrots, you have other wildlife that you don't particularly see in the States at your front door, iguanas. You have, flamingos, peacocks, all sorts of things that you don't generally see. They are at your disposal for you to be able to see and witness God's creation. But from a travel agent's perspective, once we checked in, we were told we were upgraded to something similar to a junior suite. We got to our room. The bellmen were very, very accommodating. We got to our room. And then we received a call from our personal concierge. Her name was Rena. Her customer service was exceptional. And what she told me was that, Mr. and Mrs. Stuckey, I didn't realize you all were travel agents. Have you unpacked? And I said, no, we haven't. She said, I have a surprise for you. What I'd like to do is upgrade you to the penthouse suite. And I said, Are you serious? So she said, I will send someone to come and get you. I will send someone to come and get you, and then you'll be able to experience a more eloquent part of our resort. So with that being said, we got the bell to get our items, got into our penthouse suite. And if you see Facebook, you'll see some pictures and images of our penthouse suite. We, too, got to experience the outside life, which was an sunk-in jacuzzi with jets that was overlooking a balcony that we could see nothing but nature. We got to experience a king-size canopy bed with a rain shower, separate stall for your restroom, a living room area, all for the low of $299, guys. $299, and that was our flight included. And also, as agents, we received 2 complimentary passes to an excursion where we did zip lining. We paddle boats. We did paddle boats in a river. We did ATV. That resort particular cost for adults is $159 per person. We experienced it for free. So for the price of my whole trip, some paid that just to experience zip lining and ATVing. Just for being travel agents, we got that for free. And we, too, like Mr. Bruce Bailey, got personalized service from everyone asking us, hello, are you all okay? We even got approached similar to Ron Jones on one of his trips. A gentleman that came to us that tried to sell us a timeshare. When he looked at our names, he said, oh, I'm sorry, you all are uninvitable. I said, yes, because we're travel agents. He said, so you understand what we have here? And I said, yes, sir, we do. So he then still tried to say, do you think there's any way you could use this product to sell it, to let someone else use it? I said, no, sir, I think we're good. We were experiencing this for $299. And he looked at me and he said, nothing else for him to say, but thank you for coming to visit our resort. So from a travel agent's perspective, Mr. Kim Satchel, I mean, we received upgrade after upgrade. Even on accident, we received complimentary excursions that we did not have to pay for, nothing. We got free buffet there. The buffet looked as though we were on a 5-star resort. It had everything from homemade juices to shrimp. It was phenomenal, and that, too, was my first fam trip. And my husband and I made a commitment when we exchanged vows in 2009 that we would take a trip every year and experience it together to make sure we connected with each other at least twice a year. And Vacation has afforded us the opportunity to do that more times than most people have done in their lifetime. So with that being said, Mr. Kim Satchel, I'll give it back to you. Thanks for allowing me the opportunity to share.
I want you to do me a favor and talk a little bit about your excursion that was also free after you had gotten certified with, what is it? Escaleret. I think you said it was $100-something.
Right.
Okay, talk about that a little bit.
Oh, yeah. So I touched on it a bit, but I can definitely go into it. So my husband and I, we got certified with Escaleret Excursions, and that was a simple test that Marlon or myself had the opportunity to take. And what you do is you get free online tickets. There's a plethora of things you could do: parasailing, jet skiing, speedboat, zip lining. Marlon and I chose zip lining. We did rafting in a canoe, like a canal. It was in an underground cave. It was very, 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 very kind of like not spooky in a bad way, but it was kind of like exhilarating. And then we did ATV with like a Jeep. It was like a cave. We went through water. That experience too was something I never thought I would ever zip line. That just was not something on my bucket list. But when you get it for free, you just like, let me test it out. Let me see what it's all about. And so we did get those tickets. And again, like Kim said, they are $150 normally per person. We actually rode a cab with someone who paid $150 per person, and we were able to get it for free just by becoming certified with Escaleret. And they wanted to give us the opportunity to experience the excursion so that we can sell those or offer those, I should say, to our clients when they do come to the Cancun area. Would you like me to say anything else, Mr. Kim Thatcher? Can you hear me?
Dominique, awesome testimony. Thank you very, very, very much for your testimony. That is our international executive, Dominique, who did a fabulous job. And again, we want to thank her and her husband. The pictures were just like, we were at our resort like, wow, okay, we got to step up our game over here because of what they were doing over there. But it was just totally incredible. And it just shows you, like Mr. Bailey was talking about, regional diamond. Mr. Bailey was talking about the value of what we have. See, when a lot of people look at $149, they never are able to see the value, and we cannot share all of that during an opportunity. But ladies and gentlemen, when you start experiencing these things for yourself, now you're not just talking about getting started and making money. You follow what I'm saying? You're talking about a relationship coming together and growing stronger because they're now taking vacations together. You're talking about a family that's going to experience two different parents on a whole nother level when they get back from that vacation, because now you're going to take the kids. See, that there's nothing more valuable than that could ever be. That's worth more than $150 all day long. So I know I was going to get Monique on, but I didn't want to really mess up her she's flowing right now. And I'm going to just go ahead on and bring Miss Lynn, who is basically going to do a little slight training with you guys today on the travel side and why it is important. And again, we want to thank Mr. Regional Diamond, Mr. Bruce Bailey, and we want to thank our international executive, Ms. Dominique. As we go ahead on and get into a little bit of training, make sure you take out your notes, ladies and gentlemen, and take notes, because I guarantee you want this information, and we'll be right back here for you as well. So with that being said, I'm going to step out the way, and we are going to bring Regional Executive, Miss Deidre Lynn. Hold on 1 second.
Oh, good morning, everyone. How do I operate the slides? Oh, okay. Well, I'm going my take, I guess, on the trip as well. Let's see. I put together a couple of slides with some pictures. We actually vacationed with the Baileys, and we stayed at the Grand Palladium the Grand Palladium White Sands, and that was in Cancun, the Riviera. This all of us,
Can you hear her, Nikki?
Monique and her husband, as well as the Baileys, myself and Kemp, we experienced a lot of firsts on this trip. And I know this was my first fam trip, as well as this was my first time traveling as a travel agent. I've traveled several times and paid full price, obviously. And this to say that we got everything we got at the price of $299 is phenomenal. Can everyone hear me? Hello? Is that better?
Lynn, it's Dominique. If you can hear me, get Kim to mute the line.
Hold on, ladies and gentlemen. All right, we should be. Can y'all hear us? Much. Mic check 1 2. Can you hear? 1 1. Okay, good. All right, let's go.
Okay. So again, I know at our particular resort, the director of the resort, he actually explained to us that we were in the jungle, the Mayan jungle in Mexico. I know for me, myself, and probably for some of you, when I hear the word jungle, I immediately think of Africa, or I think of, let's say maybe Brazil, like the rainforest. I never really considered that Mexico had a jungle. And when you think about it, these resorts are building in these particular jungle areas. There's a lot of animals and wildlife there. So we're actually, I guess, intruding on their homes. So there was quite a few times when we were eating that we had some visitors, such as the iguanas, as you can see. I have pictured here if you have the video. There were raccoons, anteaters, spider monkeys, although we didn't see any spider monkeys. Let's see, what else did we see? We saw flamingos, alligators. It was just a number of different animals that we actually got to see. Right here in this picture, there's a picture of some of the food that we ate. I mean, everything we did on the trip, basically, we did at least $299 worth. I mean, just the airfare alone to get down there was more than $299. The rooms were more than $299. The drinks were more than $299. The spa was more than $299. On this particular side here, this is actually one of their standard rooms. So if you were to go and stay at this particular this particular resort, this would be the bottom level or entry level room that you would stay in at this resort. And this room is very, very nice. It's very well appointed. All of the rooms were air conditioned. They had ceiling fans. They had the in-room mini bars. Rooms were excellent. This particular slide here just shows some of the meals that we had. And if any of you actually have me friended on Facebook, we were posting pictures the entire time. And I was posting pictures. I'm the food girl, so I was posting all of the pictures of all of the food. And I mean, they fed us well. There were even times where I know I actually ordered a plate of something that I didn't particularly care for. It looked really nice, but when I, tasted it, it didn't really taste that good. And it was no problem. No problem. And they just brought me out a plate of something else. I mean, the service was impeccable. So I'm going to go to this next slide here. This is some more food. As you can see, nobody went hungry. And what I did want to do, I wanted to give everyone kind of an idea of the value on this particular trip. Now, what you see here is actually, I went into VAX as if I was a paying client or retail. And I put together the trip. This is the same exact trip for the same exact dates that we were in Cancun, staying at the same resort. And as you can see, that top line that says balance due, that was $2,106.12. So that is how much it would cost to stay in the junior suite at that particular resort, which was the entry-level room. Now, the rooms that we stayed in were called Mayan suites, and actually you could probably add another $400 to $500 onto that price, and that will tell you how much retail someone would spend for 5 days and 4 nights at this particular resort. Now, what I also went on to do is I actually posted these two. Now, on the left here, the left of your screen, you'll see where it says agent rates. This is actually what it would cost for a travel agent if you wish to stay at that resort that we stayed at. The travel agent rates were actually $70 a person, per night, and that was in the junior suite. And so that would come to about $560 or $140 a night for a couple, and for 4 nights that will come to $560. And then you would add your airfare on top of that. And at the time when I did all of this pricing, airfare for Cancun was running about $325, $350 round trip. So if you were to add another $700 onto that, we would come in at around about $1,260. Let's just round it up to $1,300. And that is not a bad price. For a travel agent, you're talking to spend $1,300 for a couple, 5 days, 4 nights at this particular resort. Now, here's where it gets good. Because we went on what was called a fam trip, or a familiarization trip. We actually got to do all of these things, not for $2,500, not for $1,300, but for $299 a person. And that included the airfare, and that included the stay. So the thing that you do need to realize, because this was a fam trip, sometimes different restrictions or different requirements or disclaimers come with fam trips. Fam trips are something that a particular vendor may offer maybe 2 or 3 times a year. This isn't something that's always out there readily available. In a lot of cases, you may need to be certified with a particular vendor, and sometimes they may also want to know that you have been selling their property. They may ask you, when was the last time you booked? So these are all things to keep in mind. And how do you find these fam trips? Some of you may ask. Typically, you just, what I did, especially when I first started in the business, what I would do is I would go into the back office, onto the vendors tab, and I took my time and I pretty much visited all of the vendors' websites. And for those who you had to register, I would register. And typically a lot of them have they will have a link where it says, if you would like to get more information about our properties, please click here and sign up for our newsletters. And that was what I began to do. in which if you think about it, if a vendor is going to offer a fam trip, one of the first people they're going to let know are people who subscribe to their newsletters. So that's why I did that. And the other thing that, for those of you that have been in a group for a while, you'll notice that I tend to get certified with a lot of vendors. And that's another way to get in and to find out which vendors are offering fam trips, when and where. Because again, the fam trip is actually a reward if you look at it. Look at it in this way. It's a reward for a travel agent selling that particular vendor. I book vacations with Apple Vacations, and so as you're looking at this particular flyer, it says it's Travel Agent Appreciation Month. So they are appreciating the travel agents who actually sell their products. So this is something to keep in mind. I love to use Apple per se, because Apple does a lot of different things for their clients. And I mean, not that the other vendors don't, but Apple, I find, seems to go above and beyond when they treat their clients. When we got to the airport, this was my first time flying first class. So I was actually able to sit in the seat and cross my legs Indian style in the seat and not be touching anyone next to me. So that was a big first for me. And some of the other things that I wanted to say so far, I see some of the questions about, do you both need to be certified? All of the trips have different qualifications. This particular trip that we took, the agent had to be, the agent didn't have to be certified. It didn't have to be certified for all of the locations. Some of the locations were run by a company called AM Resorts. And AM Resorts do require you to be certified to stay at their resorts. But the particular resort we stayed at, Grand Palladium, did not require you to be certified with them. So you must read the fine print. I'm getting to that. And on this particular trip, it was a travel agent and a guest. So if your spouse is your guest, then the answer to that question is, for this particular trip, no. If you actually look at the flyer, if you can see the flyer where it says, please note important rules and guidelines, pretty much is laid out there with the things that you have to be. A traveler has to be over the age of 18. So this was not a trip for children. A lot of times with these fam trips, there are expectations that you do site inspections. This particular fam trip is what was called an unstructured fam trip, meaning that they didn't really require us to do a site inspection. We actually asked them if we could do a site inspection because we were so impressed with the place. It turns out that it was called a mega resort, and what that means basically is it was one huge resort with several different resorts in the inside. Actually, this resort had 4 different resorts, and each resort was like its own separate neighborhood. The resort that we stayed at was the more quiet, more, I'll say, luxury resort. The resort next door, at night, you can hear all of their music. They were like Party Central, and they had a different type of crowd. The decor was slightly different. They had a third resort that was a lot more family oriented for couples or for people who were traveling with families. And I liked it particularly because if you wanted to be around everybody, you could. But if you wanted to kind of have a quiet experience, there were enough different quiet places throughout the resort where you could just kick back and relax. Our particular room, we had a canoe, we had a hammock. And pretty much, if you just wanted to hang out in the room, you could do just that. I know for me, being able to travel like this, it's something that it's something I always wanted to do, but this is like a dream come true. And when I look at, people, I'm reading some of the comments, and when I look at, people who don't see the value in staying with vacations or joining vacations, for me, it's a no-brainer. I would do this now. I join all over again. And I encourage everybody, if you're not using your product, please, please, please try to take a trip. Just looking at these particular dates, these dates for the trips leaving out of Baltimore were like for May and June. But again, they have different dates and throughout the year. And Apple Vacations isn't the only one that does fam trips. Sandals will probably have a fam trip coming up in the fall sometime. I even posted some fam trips about a day or two ago on Creators of Wealth. I believe those were from Vacation Express. And they're out there. One website that's good for you guys to go to is spoiledagent.com. Can you type that for me? That's spoiledagent.com. And what you find there, those are actually a lot of the travel rates or the travel agent rates. Like you see on the left of this particular slide, and they'll give you the rates for, thanks Kim, they'll give you the rates to stay at a lot of these resorts at not the retail price, but the travel agent price. And again, that's pretty much what I had. Most of you know how to get a hold of me. You can always Facebook me and ask me any questions that you have about travel or the different sites that I have, because I don't want to take up too much time. But there are so many sites and so much information out there for us to go through and go to. And again, if you have any questions, I'm Deidre Lynn. I'm on Facebook, and I am going to turn it back over to Regional Diamond Kim Satchel.
Do y'all see why I am so knowledgeable in the travel industry right now? Oh my God, ladies and gentlemen, and I can, tell you, you want to get your spouse involved, take him on a trip. I guarantee you, he'll come back with a different attitude. All right, so with that being said, we definitely want to thank all those that actually elaborated. Great training, regional executive Deidre Lynn. And I'm just sitting back here listening to the training myself, and this is what we talk about by taking a familiarization trip and getting familiar. This is what will increase your belief system, ladies and gentlemen. See, you don't have to actually physically go on the trip, but when you start going online and start seeing these types of things, you're like, wow, oh my God. So now that's what excites you, and you can't wait to literally share this with family, as far as like, look at these prices. Are you kidding me? So you got to use your product, okay? And again, going online and getting familiar and educating yourself, all right? There's a number of places that you can go and get this type of information. And right here, if I would have seen this, I'd have been like, oh my God. Okay, are you following what I'm saying? I don't care if you go to a hotel. Go to a hotel. Go on to the internet. Call them up on the phone and just say, hello, this is Kim Satchel. How much would it cost me to stay here for the night? They tell you $139. Call them back. Hello, this is Debbie Vitale. I'm a travel agent. How much does it cost me to stay here? They tell you $100. Guess what? It just worked. Are you following what I'm saying? You got to raise your belief system, because now when I come back, I'm telling people exactly what I'm hearing, I'm seeing, I'm now doing. So there's other ways to increase your belief system by being on calls like this, because these stories right here, ladies and gentlemen, those pictures, you got to use that and post it on your website. You follow what I'm saying? That's why it's important. Make sure you are friending your leaders, because if you were smart, go on Bruce Bailey's site on his Facebook and copy and paste or share those videos. You'll see I made a video from the resort just for you to be able to promote your business. It was specifically for you to be able to promote your business. And it'll say at the end of the video, get back to the person. And I'm on the resort. I'm in the water. I'm on the canoe. So they can't say it don't work, because guess what? We are now documented agents. That's what it means to become documented. You've used the product. You got the checks. How many of your belief system went up when you got your first check, ladies and gentlemen? You get it in the back. Man, get yourself started quickly, right? The higher your check goes, the more your belief system grows. Are you following what I'm saying? This is what we're talking about. But in order for you to get the check, you got to believe it. And now guess what? I'm not afraid. I'm going to go out here and build my business, and I'm going to build it not just for me, but I'm going to build it so that I can have my kids experience this, my grandchildren can experience this, me and my wife can become closer while we're doing stuff together. We're not just sitting home looking at the same four walls. We're on a plane together, and when you're vacationing and having fun, all the arguments go out the door, ladies and gentlemen. I'm telling you. So with that being said, we want to thank you for sharing us on Saturday's training. On today, we'll be back here on next Saturday doing the same thing over and over again. Remember, the theme today was, what's the theme? What's the theme? Together we stand, divided we fall. Together we stand, divided we fall. Let's get back in the game. Let's get back to connecting with individuals. Let's stay connected. Let's use the webinar, ladies and gentlemen, to promote your business. Let's get back into doing these travel parties. Guess what? If you got two people on the team, you two do the travel party together. You can do a travel party simply by saying, okay, me and my girlfriend going to do one, me and my business partner. You don't have to do one all by yourself. Learn how to build your business together, or you will automatically divide. Did you hear what I just said? I'm feeling that. That's why I'm sharing that today. I feel the separation amongst the team. So I had to say that today. We got to find truth in coming back together. I've been on vacation, but I'm back now. We're ready to go to work. I know many of you want to become diamond. I know many of you want to get international. I know many of you want to get executive. We are here. Your leadership is here. And I'm going to have another call tonight with our leadership, because guess what? We got work to do. We're going to bring this business out. Yes, the free portal is out, but guess what? Let's keep the main thing the main thing. We got to build this residual. We got to build this business. We got to stay in touch. Why? Because if you don't have no money, you can't even go nowhere. So it's important to build your bank account, right? And it's important to share it with the world, because guess what? We can change it and make it a better place. Why? The more that we come together, the more people that we have. So I want to see everybody interacting. I want to see everybody on that webinar every night, right? Just make up your mind. At 9 o'clock, there's a webinar. I'm going to be there. And I guarantee you, if you're there, you're more subject to invite somebody there. But just get into the habit of being on that business, because I don't want to see nobody paying nothing monthly. I don't want to see nobody coming out of their pocket. I want to see your business and profit. And guess what? It's all about you, ladies and gentlemen. It's all about you, because yes, I know you want to go. I know you want to take a vacation. I know sometimes the money is funny, but guess what? We have the perfect product. Maybe you don't have family, but I'm going to tell you something, ladies. I have more family today because of this network. When you look at it, man, Bruce is not my brother in blood, but he's my brother. When you look at his wife, that's my sister. When you look at Lynn, yes, that's my girlfriend. But guess what, ladies and gentlemen? Our family is right here. We're here. Karen, the Diamond, the Marlins, the Moniques. We're here. We got to really believe in one another because as we grow together, we stand. Divided, we fall. God bless you. Have an enjoyable weekend, and we'll see you next week.
Oh, you knew you were on there.